We're talking Golden Globes and Golden Showers. Gay Weekly Roundtable starts now.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Welcome, everyone. The first Gay Weekly Roundtable of 2017. We're back. We missed you. And we got a very exciting show in store for you. We're missing a few of our hosts today, but we are here for you. I'm Adam Salandra. You can find me on social media at Adam Salandra.
I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And I am in the chat, so come chat with us.
Chat with us. And our very special guest and guest co-host for the day, he's a singer, songwriter, actor, author. Probably some things I'm forgetting, and you can let us know. Simon Curtis, everyone.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And you get you have space over there. I love that. So
I know. I get a whole
just
section.
sink in and let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So a lot's happened since the Golden Globes in life, as you might know. But let's start with that because they happened, and there were a lot of little gay moments. Specifically, Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield kissing.
The most beautiful kiss of all time.
Which didn't get any screen time. Like that was like sneak attacked on us.
Yeah, but luckily people were watching, and it was talked about the next day. And then did you see Andrew Garfield kiss Stephen Colbert on the show? So it's just keeping a train going. And I'm not mad at straight guys. I mean, I'm not mad at straight guys kissing anyway, of course. But like in terms of it just being treated as not a big deal, I'm into that.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like I hallucinated this, but I feel like before Spider-Man, before his version of Spider-Man, there were all these interviews where he talked openly about being bi, and then all of a sudden that was like scraped away. Did I just make that up, like out of fantasy?
I don't recall that.
I
did.
There's an arc in comics where Deadpool and Spider-Man have a thing.
Well, we're hearing from God himself. But that's in real life you're saying Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought that was a thing.
I didn't know that, but I did think that there was a rumor that he was.
Okay.
Either way, this was treated like in the press two straight men, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then when he went on to Colbert, and Colbert asked about it, he went, I have no problem kissing men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's like, yes. Like if he's bi, I mean, great if he's bi, but I prefer him to be straight in this case, to be like, it's not a big deal. Not that straight guys need to be kissing straight guys. The point is, it just doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, if everyone's like, if girls can kiss girls, why can't boys kiss boys?
Thank you.
I'm, as we all know, a fan of kissing everyone.
Anybody kiss anybody.
Yeah, let's all start making
I love your like very equal opportunity kind of gal.
Absolutely. I was just tweeting today that I'm an equal opportunity objectifier as well.
Which is important.
Absolutely.
I think.
That's truly.
Yes. We all know that Meryl had a speech.
What?
That was very...
Queen Meryl.
Yes. And for some reason, the only thing I wrote down is we can't just have football and mixed martial arts. Meryl, I know you had a lot more important things to say, but I couldn't agree more with that statement. I'll tell you right now, we need the arts. And that isn't cutting it. I've heard some, of course, backlash from the right, but a surprising few in the left being like, this isn't the way to...
Huh?
I know. I read it a little because I was curious, then I was like, must stop.
What's there to backlash at that? She just said, go be empathetic.
Right. She was saying, no, less voice, like, let's take action if we're going to do something. Well,
Also,
and let's spread the word and then take the action.
I mean, Patricia Arquette made her speech about...
Yes, as was also...
inequality in pay during her Oscar speech. Why can't Meryl?
And they both should be able to, and they both did.
That's what you do when you have the opportunity to make a statement. I think it's great that she took this time. This is the time to do it. Everyone's listening to you.
And to speak it so beautifully. I mean, it was eloquent and powerful, and just it was moving.
And no nastiness. Didn't even say his name one time.
I know. I loved that. So good.
So anyway, Meryl, if you're watching, which you usually do, so I assume you are, we support you and we appreciate you. La La Land was a big winner, and you loved La La Land, didn't you?
Love La La Land. I know it's like a controversial opinion at this point, but I love
I
that
really
movie.
liked it, but I saw your tweets about it before I went, so you actually made me be like, okay, now I'm gonna have high expectations, but now people are really coming for it in the other direction. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, but because everyone loved it so much, I worry that my expectations are really high.
Well, Google deeper. There's a lot of people now not into it.
I know. I've seen a lot of, I think a lot of smart people that I respect saying some things that I think are really interesting. I will not say them because I have I have nothing to say. I haven't seen it. I don't know. But once I see it, I'm sure I will have an opinion. I think it's great that people are on both sides, and I'm happy there's a discussion.
Sure. And for me, I don't know. I read some points for the other side, or this, their things that they had to say, and I was like, okay, like I do get it, but
what are some things that you've seen people say?
Honestly, none that stuck with me. I was going to ask you what you saw, because for me, it always came back to, but it was just a fun movie. For me, and I don't know what you got out of it that you loved.
Do you mean in terms of like what people who disliked it are saying?
Yes.
I think the two biggest criticisms that I have seen, just in terms of it being a musical, they don't think the leads can sing.
Oh yeah, I definitely heard that.
Which I don't really buy, because I enjoyed their voices the entire time.
Also,
and you're a
Stone,
singer, thank you.
Yeah, but Emma Stone's fame is because she won the Partridge Family competition.
She did?
What?
Yeah, okay, so Emma Stone, for those who don't remember, before she was an actress, there was a plan to revive the Partridge Family, to like bring back this idea of a family singing group, and there was a reality show competition, and she won this for the lead. I don't remember the girl's name, the one who's not Davy. She won that, and then she became an actress.
She's a reality star, technically?
Yes,
That's amazing.
And she won singing. So she can sing.
She's a good singer. She doesn't have this powerhouse vocal in the movie, but the music doesn't need it. It's supposed to be sweet and supposed to be tender, and her acting is so good in it. Like, you just feel her the whole time.
Their chemistry.
I have seen people in musicals who they can sing, but the acting is like,
Thank you. Yeah. The first time each one sang a note, I remember thinking like, oh, they're not like here for their voice. It didn't distract me one time, for me personally. It wasn't bad.
Another thing that I've noticed in modern movie musicals is that they process the shit out of vocals, and they didn't in this movie.
So it felt like, on purpose.
Yes, and there's one scene in particular where they do a reprise of a song that happens earlier in the movie, but as a duet, and like one of them has a bum note, and then they start laughing, and it's obvious that they're singing there on set, and they use those vocals, which like. That doesn't happen in musicals these days.
Yeah, that's really rare.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. I mean, that's doing something different.
The other big thing that like critics have been saying, and I can't really speak on this because I'm not black, but they talk about how people have perceived it as presenting like a white savior narrative about jazz music, and Ryan Gosling's character being this like white savior of jazz music, which was created by black people. I didn't perceive his character that way. The way that I took his character, it is that he's kind of this bumbling idiot who was holding on to something that he didn't really know anything about.
Same.
Yeah.
But that's kind of but like I can't talk about that because I'm not black.
Same.
So
but to me, and again, very not from a black person's opinion, but it felt like he revered. He just held jazz at such a high level, and I think that included the people who started it. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that during the film, so I don't know. But that is interesting because I feel like it's going to be between that, based on the Globes, between that and Moonlight for the Oscars, which is a black film, but also a LGBT film.
Yeah.
So it's like, I haven't seen it yet. It's just,
you haven't seen
No.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I know, but I get really, anything that's a drama, I like really have, even if I really want to see it, I really have to like pull myself into going to see it.
Oh, it's fucking heavy.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
am
what
I allowed to comment?
Yes,
You've
you are.
already done it. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
That happens every show. It says it, and I'm like, wait, am I allowed to do that? And I never tell anyone
Well,
otherwise.
I haven't seen either film yet. So I can't.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Well, but Moonlight is great as well.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Okay.
But La La Land for me, it was just magical. Like,
Right, that's how I felt.
Like even people are upset that there's only a few songs in it, but there's music the whole time. They might not be necessarily doing a singing and dancing number, but there's this beautiful music, and the I don't know, it's just so beautiful.
For me, I don't know if I even think it necessarily should be winning Oscars, but it still will probably go down as my favorite movie of the year. Those are two different things for me. But people got to get real upset, and you're entitled to your opinions. If you're in the chat, tell them now. Now, we need to move on to something thirstier for a second here, okay? The Jonas Brothers, Joe Jonas. Nick Jonas has been taking it off for quite some time now.
How old are these Jonas brothers? So I don't feel
They're legal.
bad.
They're legal.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, they are. Surely they are.
Well, I don't know. They just
No,
all
I
feel
think they're
like
in their
children.
20s.
Yeah,
They
but
might be in their
feel
mid-20s
like
now.
children to me.
Because we watched them grow up.
Because
And
they're
now
the Joe
They don't look
Bros.
like children
they're all
no more.
grown up. Speaking of not looking like a child, Joe Jonas is the new spokesperson. That's not the word. Face. Bulge of guest underwear.
Shock.
And we have a picture, if we can put it up. Now, I know if you're just listening, Google Joe Jonas underwear. It's going to pop right up for you.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's nice. There's a bunch of these.
He's the one from that band.
Yeah.
I
The
mixed
Jonas Brothers?
No, not that one. The other one.
DNT. I was like, the Jonas Brothers.
Sorry, I mixed those. There's 3 of them, and
Yeah, he
unlike
is.
the Mbop sisters, the Hanson sisters, where I knew which one I liked, I can't tell you these 3 apart.
Which one did
I'm
you
from
like?
Tulsa, so Hanson is like, it's like real for
Oh,
me.
Taylor, she was my favorite.
Yeah, you would think that. I mean,
She was beautiful.
Still is.
Is she?
Still.
Even though now she's married and has kids?
Like 12 kids.
I
and
never
still.
realized until this moment, but as a young gay boy, not knowing I was gay, but seeing Taylor, and I was like, what an easy way to get away with, like, I'm still straight. I might have a crush on this guy, but like, kind of a girl.
She's my favorite.
Anywho, no,
Anyways, sorry.
digressed.
No, this one's in the one that did the music video with Ashley Graham.
Yes.
Oh, Ashley Graham.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what video that is.
It's
The
one of DNC's.
toothpaste, the
Is it
toothbrush
DNC or is supposed to be saying dance?
Durns.
Durns. No vowels.
DNC.
That's what I thought. Anyway, Joe
Sorry.
Jonas.
Yes, sorry.
Somehow we're getting distracted, and it's not by this picture of him. But that's the thing. Great, fine. Very fine. In fact, if you're a fan of them, I always used to think that everyone thought Joe was the cute one, and I remember when they were young, and back then it was not really okay to say, but I was like, I think Nick's going to be the hot one. And then we all saw what happened, and Joe's like, no, don't forget about me.
What are the names?
Nick, Kevin, and Joe. Those are not in order of age.
Okay.
They just came out that way.
Okay.
Of my mouth. Here's what we're really talking about, guys. There's so much distraction here.
Sorry. Joe.
He's doing this, and people are saying, oh, he's like his brother. People are accusing his brother Nick of gay baiting. That's the topic that I want to discuss, is gay baiting itself. Because it's
Yes.
The real topics.
Now, gay baiting, if y'all don't know, is, I would say, it's if I've only heard it for pop stars, but I'm sure any entertainer or anyone sort of baiting the gays by just catering to them in a way, I guess. For me, I have a hard time defining it because I'm on the side of, I don't agree with being mad at them. But first, can you explain what you think?
Well, see, I think
Explain it better than me.
I think where you toe the line of like just selling sex to specifically gay baiting, which is something that Nick Jonas gets accused of so often
All the time.
is just like his people or whoever have just propped him up so much, put him in so many interviews of all of like these like winky, you know, I'm not opposed to doing something with a guy. I've never done it, wink, wink.
Sure,
but
sure.
I mean, maybe, like just this like very
Right.
cheesy, overt, like, we can get
Totally.
you on the cover of Out and Advocate and all these, gay magazines that will just froth over you
Yeah.
and, the internet will blow up. It's like, I don't know, I think it's just like marketing strategy.
Totally.
And like very blatant marketing strategy
Yeah.
that you can do on top of just selling sex.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
and
I
that's
get
where
that.
it gets to kind of be like really inauthentic and just kind of
And
eye-rolly.
inauthentic
Like,
is a problem. Here's what I'm going to say about it, but please disagree with me. I think you will, and I think you should, because we need the other opinion. But for me, it's like, the reason it doesn't bother me is I just think that's what's done in the world. I mean, but you mentioned this, selling sex. That is
Right.
what it is. For me, it's like, thanks for including us. Thanks for thinking our money is just as good as everyone else's, and for we are, those who are interested in that body type are looking at him interested. And so I appreciate that. I prefer this over them ignoring us altogether.
That's a really good way to look at it.
He went to, after Pulse, was it in LA that do you know, or in New York?
And he
service.
showed up.
Yeah, he did a thing.
And they had him talk, and people were very mad about that. Again, I get it, but again, this is based on his intentions, which I'll never know what his true intentions were, album sales or caring, but I am not mad at a straight guy who wants to be on our side and stand up for us. And that's how I see it. but I am in the minority. That's why I want you to
For sure. No, I completely agree. But I think where people's anger was coming from, or at least their shock, in the wake of Pulse, it was a time and a place for members of the community.
Totally.
It was not somebody who just had a single come out. Not
he didn't need to
who,
speak. Now that is for sure.
You can be there. You can hold hands with people. You can voice your support. But do we need to stop and give you the spotlight and give you the mic to see how? Have you give your words to our community about how this tragedy that affected our community is making you feel?
Totally. And unfortunately, I'm so cynical. Anytime a celebrity says anything, my first thought is, oh, what do you have? But what would you say about Lady Gaga, who did the same thing? Do you feel the same way?
I mean, the thing is with her, with Lady Gaga specifically, is that's always been so much a part of her,
absolutely.
So much a part of her.
From day one, for sure.
So it's...
But also, isn't she on our spectrum somewhere?
Yeah, she said.
Yeah, so she's part of the community.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is a very good point. True.
The thing about this photo, it's a photo of him in his underwear. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
How much baiting is that? He's in his underwear. If it was only plastered in the Castro, sure, that I would call gay baiting.
I wouldn't call this gay baiting.
Yeah, and no one said that. It just made me think, as seeing him in this way reminded me of seeing Nick in this way, and I just saw. I just did an article about Joe Jonas from another interview where he was saying, I forget what it was, but very wink wink gay things. But I mean, more than Nick. Listen, I do think Nick's very cute, but I've waited on him back in my waiter days. Very polite, but I mean, not to be rude, but there was just no personality coming out at all.
There is a chance also he comes from a religious background, right? Yeah. So there is this chance that he's playing this wink wink, but the truth is he's trying to say, hey.
That's a twist.
What I think
What
I think is super interesting, and I don't know if he still is, but they were both managed by their father, who was a former pastor.
Right.
Yes.
And I made this comment on Twitter yesterday because it's so funny to me. Like, I wasn't even joking. The trajectory of their purity ring Disney days to now just kind of being like these gay pinups. It's so fascinating to me.
It really is.
And especially if if their youth pastor dad is still managing them. That's there's a documentary in there.
How is that even a thing that has happened twice in our lifetime? Yes. With the Jessica and Ashley Simpson had the same thing. What? How? How is that?
Oh, if only my father was a pastor.
A pastor. Dang it. Anyways.
And I was a singer. I think that's what I'm missing also.
And the singer, right, and the talent in that area, but it's fine. So anyway, hey, for me, gay bait away. Keep winking at me.
Well, I want to, on a different gay baiting topic, there is, there was a lot of controversy with this show called The 100, where they had a couple of women that were together, and apparently a writer from the show went into some forums and were, as the fan said, we're queer baiting and we're trying to be like, don't you love that we gave you this couple? Aren't you happy with this couple? And then they killed one of them. So there was a huge, controversy about this. I personally felt like what this writer did wasn't necessarily queer baiting. They were fan baiting. They went in and went, you're a fan, be a fan. Yeah. It wasn't specifically, I felt that they were doing something malicious to the gay community.
I think I think marketing in itself can be kind of gross.
Yeah.
But it's a necessary evil, I would say.
And I think your distinction of what gay baiting is versus selling sex is very important.
Yeah, you've made me feel differently about it as well. And like I said, I still am happy. I just am glad that they're thinking of us. But I think the word that you said that stuck out with me is if there needs to be an authenticity behind it.
Yeah, you just got to be genuine. And I think especially now with marketing in 2017, if you're coming from an inauthentic place, people are going to pick up on it.
Exactly. All right. Well, speaking of
2017.
Yeah, what do you have for us? And not as cute news as Joe Jonas?
No, I'm so sorry. And really opposite of cute. I want to talk about Ben Carson for a sec.
Cool.
Okay, so Ben Carson, you may remember him. He ran for president.
Back when we thought that Trump was just a joke that wouldn't be.
Yeah. So he was at a confirmation hearing for his nomination to run for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and he was labeled as anti-gay and anti-affirmative action. And to push back, he said that he believes equal rights, but not in extra rights. He said, "Of course I will enforce the laws of the land. Of course I think all Americans should be protected by the law. What I've said before is I don't think anyone should get extra rights." Meaning he thinks that the gays want extra rights.
The thing is these people just perceive equality and measures to protect equality. They perceive that as somebody getting special treatment.
Mm-hmm.
They perceive these stupid religious bills and all of these things as protection, but when gay people want to get married or anything that works to help disenfranchised people, that's giving you special treatment.
Right.
We just need to see how the law is gonna fall here and how the people are gonna vote and blah 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 blah. Anything else will be catering to you because it's so ridiculous.
I want everything to go like this. Do you have a right to do this? Okay, everyone else gets this right.
Right, and
that's it.
It's
Done.
kind of that simple.
I know.
But they don't get it.
Like,
It should be.
You have the right to use the toilet of your choice, and so does everyone else.
Yep.
But what bothers
So
me, and this
frustrating.
bothers me about a lot of the things Trump says too, is that to know that they will likely, no matter what happens, never get how wrong they are or how ignorant the things are that they're saying. It burns me because I'm like, I just want to shake them and be like, listen, like, even have a different opinion than me by all means, but it can't be these crazy things that you're saying that just aren't based in reality.
Yeah.
It's almost leaves up. It's like, what are we saying? Retaliation, like.
It's because to them that is their reality. Their perception is their reality.
Yes.
So how can you convince someone of something when they perceive it to be what is real?
I just can't
really
imagine
frustrating.
being allowed to do something as a person. Like, I as a person can get married, and going, no, you as a person cannot. I just can't understand that because I'm a person. You are a person. That's it. That's all there is to it.
The thing that I don't understand more than that is why people care so greatly.
Right.
Back when it was Prop 8 times, excuse my fuzzies on my beard, it was...
back in the days of Prop 8.
Yeah, those were...
The good old days.
The good old days when it didn't pass, but Obama was about to come in for 8 years. Now I got excited and I forgot what I was going to say. To hear millions of dollars being spent to stop marriage equality, it makes me really confused. Like, if you have money, whether you have a little or a lot, and you're giving to that means it's an important cause to you.
Yeah.
Of all the ways you could spend your money, selfishly buying something amazing, charity, gifts for others, or I don't care what. That's what you're spending it on. It's that strong.
Yeah.
That
I
freaks
have
me
all
out.
this money, and all I want to do is hurt strangers that I don't know.
To protect my own marriage that likely isn't
Right.
going well, or if it is, great, God bless. But it's just it's just so hard for me to understand. Like, what does he say? What he thinks is extra that we are?
No, he just says that he believes in equal rights, but not extra rights, which I think is his way of going. We're good. We're good right now.
Yeah.
What extra okay,
I know,
but it's also Ben Carson. Like, are we?
Yeah, but he was nominated to run for the Department of Housing and Urban Development. I'm not necessarily sure what that position does, but that means he does something.
Well, much like all the other picks that Trump has picked, it's not good. The guy, nope, can't get into it. I'm gonna get too.
All right, on a happier.
Yes.
Well, I guess not happier. I'm not really sure what this note is. Well, I guess it's happier. All right.
Less dangerous for us.
Sure. So Vivica A. Fox, I don't know if you all heard, she was doing an interview and it was asked if gay guys could go to her show. So she has a show, Vivica's Black Magic, which is like, it is, if you think of Thunder from Down Under, which
yes,
I suggest everyone goes to at all times.
At least think so.
It's real great. Think of Thunder from Down Under, but it's more black men. They do have non-black men, but it's mostly black men.
Okay.
And she was asked if gay guys, and she said, hell no. They dance for women, and it's called the Ultimate Girls' Night Out. Now, I definitely understand that is a disgusting statement.
Yeah.
But I think when taken strictly out of context, which this statement was taken out of context and blown up.
Yeah.
What she meant was, my show is being marketed as a girls' night out.
Yeah.
That's it. That's, I think, all she meant. So she has apologized. This came out today, I believe, or yesterday. And she said, I have been a friend and supporter of the LGBT community for years. My intention was not to offend anyone. I'm woman enough to apologize if you felt that way. My show has already been taped, and I was just doing something for the ladies, but all are welcome to enjoy Vivica's Black Magic show. It's hot and on every Wednesday night on the Lifetime Network for you all to enjoy. I'm all about the love, not hate.
Promo.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Oh, it's a TV show?
She made a show, like a live show, and there's a reality show where they cast. I offered to be.
But she wasn't saying the gay guys couldn't watch the TV show.
No. She meant they couldn't go to the show.
See, I get that. Like, I don't phrasing first off.
Yes.
But like, I get it if you are a woman making, a kind of sexualized experience specifically for women, and you're basically saying, do you want that? What kind of space do you want this to be?
Right. Yeah.
Do you want it to be a place where women can come and be able to, get wild, watch some strippers, hoot and holler, and be with their girlfriends, and not necessarily have a table of guys next to them?
It's no different than when gay guys don't want straight girls to go to gay bars.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's an opinion, and I think if she's someone, and I don't know anything about her, so let's say it was you, like if you're someone who's very, without question, a friend to the gay community, to say that is really, you probably don't even think of it in a homophobic way. It's like, well, no, it's women only. It has nothing, she could have not even been thinking of the gay aspect, just that's what it is.
Yeah.
But saying hell no, that was probably
I think that's the problem, is that the interview, if I saw like a clip of it, and it's as though like she's walking by and they were like, yeah, hell no. I don't think it was like a serious thing.
Yes.
Yeah, you can, it's also, but we live in an age where, if you're going to have a camera on, you're going to answer questions, you need to think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
you can't say, hey, can gays come to your hell no, cannot be the first thing out of your mouth.
Right.
Quite
simply. It could have been said in many other ways, but
I think it was also, there was also a question asked, I heard that a question was asked to one of the dancers, and he was like, I mean, the show is great, but like I don't do lap dances for men, and I don't do private parties for men. That's not what this is for. And I think that is part of this conversation, is how the dancers feel, which I get. It's their bodies.
I mean, the dancers too. They probably know. Are there going to be women in this audience that you have to do sexual things with? You might not be taken off the G-string, but like, it's still a sexual experience.
Yeah.
And if they're signing up for it, and if it's work, they have the right to choose if it's going to be with a guy or if it's going to be with a girl. That's
absolutely.
That's just what it is.
For sure. Now, if it's just on stage, I would say no. If you're just performing and you're like, I can't have a gay guy in the audience.
Of course.
You might be a homophobe. But what you're saying is beyond correct.
But I've seen, remember like Real Sex on HBO? Like, you've seen these shows. Like, it's a lot more than just dancing on a stage.
Yeah.
Like, stuff gets put on places and hands and mouths and all sorts of stuff. Like, those things are wild.
Yeah.
I feel like the dancers should have a right, to choose if they're told, like, this is going to be a thing for women.
Absolutely. First of all, as if I was a gay man going to the show, I would not. Then I'm in an uncomfortable position that this guy's like, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. Then it's just awkward. I want them to know, and I want them to want to do it.
Absolutely.
All right, Black Magic. Check it out. Vivica promoted it.
Yeah, and we have an after show here at AfterBuzz for that show.
Great.
And I believe I was just told before the show the dancers will be here tonight.
So we can bring them in and see how they feel.
So if you'd like to see them tonight, I believe tonight is the Vivica's Black Magic after show.
Also, are there no gay dancers involved? Like, that's surprising in and of itself.
Well, when we had some guys from Thunder from Down Under in the studio for an interview, and I asked them, I asked them out there because I didn't want to out anyone.
Sure.
But they were like, no, none of the guys are gay. And I was like,
that's not even true.
That's not possible.
That's like literally not even true.
There's like probably someone there that's like...
Something you'd like to tell us?
Oh, no, I don't have intel. I'm just saying that's just like not a thing.
That's what I thought you meant, and then I was like, wait, if he has a story...
Well, no,
interview canceled.
No, because the guys on Thunder don't have to actually be dancers. That's the difference. That's why I believe
that helps. That's true.
That's why I believe that they're straight.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to share?
Just the outing of a new fluid character on TV, a sexually fluid character, so exciting. On The Librarians, which is a show that I cover here at AfterBuzz.
Plugs galore.
Yeah, all about it.
I love it.
A character named Cassandra who was always, it was kind of like hinted at. She officially, in the last episode, she kissed a vampire. It's a show about magic, so she kissed a female vampire. And then in a lot of interviews, the actress Lindy Booth talked about how this character is she's not gay, she's not bi, she is just a fluid person. And so I thought that deserved an announcement.
That's really cool.
So jealous to be you, where any sort of kiss on screen can excite you.
Yes.
Like I'm not being like I want that because any like a guy, even a hot guy and a girl, but like you get it with the girl, like it just sounds so like I'd be watching every show. No wonder you're always and hence a TV fanatic figured it out.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
It's great.
All right, well it's time to really
good
dig
time
deeper
for me.
into our amazing guest Simon.
Yes.
What I'm so excited about because I first found out about you. I believe it was 2010, but I think that was when 8-Bit Heart came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is your
Guys,
favorite song?
It's my favorite album. That's the name of the album, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a song, though.
Yeah, but the album is... When my friend told me about it, and he was just like, listen to the lyrics, and for a young gay guy... It was just every song. I was like, wait, why aren't all songs like this? It was so relatable.
Oh,
I was
thank
like,
you.
yes, I was obsessed.
Thank you so much.
I've
That's
been
so
following
kind
you
of
ever since, and you've certainly done a lot since then.
Yeah.
What, though, I need to know first is
Yes.
upcoming in the music world. Are you working on it, or are you focusing on other things?
I am. I'm working on a new album. So there is an album. It's taken the back burner to books now, but it is, which I'm actually really happy with because I like being able to take time with stuff, and I like, especially with music, not putting kind of arbitrary deadlines for myself. I'm in a really comfortable place with it.
Arbitrary deadlines that speaks to me.
Well, I mean, working as an independent musician, like you kind of have to set these arbitrary deadlines for yourself in order to get stuff out. And, so now that I'm also writing books, it's been this really kind of liberating process to be like, no, I just get to be creative, and I get to like let these ideas really come to me and really kind of, dig in and express myself with this. So
I love that.
I'm excited.
But where are we on the timeline? Like how long do I have to wait?
Yeah. He's real impatient.
Yeah, I'm just especially when we heard Flesh in the beginning, I was like, yes, come on.
It'll be this year.
Oh, great.
It'll
That's
be
all
this
I
year.
needed to know.
Yes.
Thank you. And same sort of type of music, or you're not like veering off into a wild direction?
No, it's gonna be country folk. I'm kidding. Totally
I was
kidding.
like, oh, okay, I'm into it.
I was like, how different.
Yeah. No, I legit do want to record a country album with Casey
Great.
Musgraves at some
Oh,
point in my life,
please, her,
but
yes.
but no, it's just it will be, it's electronic pop.
I love it.
Yeah.
What inspires you, when it comes to... I'm really fanning out right now.
Okay,
and it's
sorry.
half of these
My
music
bad.
questions.
Go for it.
But now I forget, so go ahead.
Wait, no.
Okay, got it. What inspires you in terms of writing the songs themselves? Like, is it always is it something, or do you have to sit down and be like, okay... Do you understand that horribly phrased question?
I do.
Okay,
I
great.
do.
Do you want me to take it?
I think I always have to start with just Britney Spears first off. Like,
you couldn't have given me a better answer.
Britney Spears is just like, I have a difficult time. Like, it was so funny because I told my boyfriend when Glory came out and it was such a good album, I was like, I could finally put out another album, just because I was just like waiting for that dose of inspiration to be like, I can go do it now.
And truly, as a true Britney fan, I never gave up on her, but I was like, no, this is what we've been waiting for, that last album.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me tell you, if you don't know, okay.
Thanks. If you could duet with Britney, which song of hers would you want to duet?
Oh my God, great question.
One that's already.
welcome.
I
Yeah.
would want to write.
You'd want to write a new song?
I'd want to write a song. Like,
You should have it in your back pocket just in case. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, not for today, but like,
No, like
to
when
present
you,
to her.
yeah, like when you see her, like we should do a remix of this one.
Writing a song for Britney is like,
That's up on the dream list.
that's like at the top.
Do you
of it.
have a
Wow.
favorite song of hers? Because I don't think I can personally, but I'm too neurotic to choose favorites. So
I mean, I have like a playlist of favorite songs.
Same, and it's most of them.
Pretty much as most of them.
Right, we have the first album through the latest album.
Yeah,
correct.
That's it.
There was only one I didn't like, and even that I'll listen to. So.
I will say, I think the one that still just like bowls me over the most every time I hear it is "Baby One More Time," the first single.
I love that.
It's so fucking good, and those vocals are just like, it's just so powerful and gives you chills. And
that old bubblegum pop that I miss, bring it back.
It's like weirdly dark too. Like if you listen, everything about it's so good. It's so good.
I know what I'm listening to on the way home. I'll tell you that. Okay. We can probably go back to music since I'm obsessive, but we need to talk about your books because that's what you're focusing on right now.
Yes.
Boy Robot is number one, which I am obsessed with seeing you retweet a lot things that fans say, and I feel like they are so touched by it, like not just enjoying the book, but it touches them, which I like. How does that feel? It must be amazing.
I mean, writing that book took so much out of me. I had to like scoop deep parts of my soul out in order to write that, so it means a lot, and that's why I don't feel bashful about retweeting the stuff that people say to me, because I'm really fucking proud of it, and it's just it really means a lot. So
it's interesting you say that, because it doesn't come off as bragging to me. Like, look at this. It really comes off as like sharing someone's emotion over something.
I appreciate that, because that's for me what it is.
Totally.
Because it was such an emotional experience writing it, and to have it in people's hands and to have people react like that, it's everything to me.
That.
We have Mr. Rorosuri in the chat. He says, "I love your book."
Who is
Mr. Rorosuri? You can talk to him right there.
Hi. Well, thank you so
chat.
much. I love you.
Love begets love. So another book coming out this year as well?
Yeah, the sequel.
So what are deadlines like for you when writing compared to when you're writing music?
It's interesting because with deadlines for writing books, I need them.
Yeah.
Like, the writing will not get done. It'll just forever stay in like this embryonic cloud unless I have a deadline looming, and then all of a sudden I get to work.
Yeah.
When you write, are you an outliner, or do you just start plugging away?
The only way I could do it is with outlining. Like that's the only way, because unless someone once told me, who was very wise and incredibly successful with books, told me that you will not finish a book if you don't know where it begins and where it ends, and I found that to be completely true. So
You're just going forever. I love that.
Yeah.
Here's something. You're with Simon and Schuster.
Yes.
Were you about to say Simon and Schuster?
I was, sure was.
Simon and Schuster.
And they had a little controversy because of, I hope someone can say his last name, Milo. I can't even say his name. Is it Milo?
Ventimiglia?
Another Milo, I cannot say the name.
Let's talk about that one instead.
I'd rather talk about that.
Basically, if you don't know, I'm not going to
Milo,
dig deep.
who had a Twitter feud with Leslie
Jones. He's alt-right, vote Trump person, whatever. He has a book deal. Now, people were mad. They were boycotting Simon & Schuster. I liked what you said about it, because I went and I was like, I'm going to see what Simon says, and sure enough, there it was. Because
Simon,
I thought that you were with him.
I don't know her.
I was going to say,
I don't know her.
He was like, listen, it is what it is, but instead of boycotting, there's so many. Not only did they give you an opportunity, but many LGBT voices an opportunity as well.
I think my opinion on it is twofold. One, I think with people like that, if you suck the oxygen out of the room, the fire goes out.
Right.
Like, don't boycott. Don't tweet about it. Like, I don't know her.
Right. Like, literally. Right.
Dust in the wind. It's gone.
Because we shouldn't.
Like, creating that kind of firestorm of controversy is exactly the intention behind all of it.
Absolutely. And we'll sell the books.
And if you give into it, you're just selling. Like, you're giving, like, the garbage people who would never even go buy this gay man's memoir.
Right. Ever.
Like, they're gonna go to Walmart and line up and like buy it by the bucket load.
Right.
So
just to be against us.
Yeah, so just stop talking about it.
Right, for sure.
Which is easier said than done, because stuff like that, it affects you emotionally. So I get it, but I think the way to handle it is to just not even acknowledge it.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
then also, I think when you're talking about a company as big as Simon & Schuster, and this is one imprint of them who
Right.
exclusively publishes like scandalous shit from garbage people.
Yeah.
Simon & Schuster, the imprint that I'm working with, I was able to get them to give most of the marketing money for my book directly to the It Gets Better project, like specifically for LGBTQ youth programs.
It's amazing.
Which, like, that's a company that's a huge company, and there are parts of them who are doing really, really good work.
Yeah,
and
I think it's
publishing
good
a
to
lot
acknowledge
of
that.
Yeah, so it's like throughout the firestorm of that controversy, that was something that was important for me to kind of like shout into the void as well. Like, there's some people doing really good work there.
Right, and if you're by being so angry at this one person, a lot of other people's voices won't be heard that should be. So you have to sort of balance, take it into account.
Go support all. They publish so many underrepresented voices, and go buy a couple of their books. Don't tweet about Milo.
Exactly. I love that. I don't know her. I have one last question for me related to that. For me, I grew up as wanting to be famous and thinking, well, what do I do? Back then I wasn't gay. I didn't think I would just had this weird thing where I was attracted to guys. I didn't know.
Right,
I was like, what am I going to say?
We all have that. It's just this weird
I was
thing.
like, well, is my wife
Yeah.
going to be okay with this? And well, I'll find out. But
I'm absolutely okay. with
oh
this.
God, you were literally the type of woman I was looking for back then, and we
Right.
could have been together if I was
Oh
so
my,
closeted.
we would have had a good time.
You would have showed me. I bet you would have been like, trust me, it's fine. And you can go, if I wasn't dating someone, I might talk to you after this show, young lady. Anyway, oh no, I'm blushing. What, again, I never can, oh yeah. So for me,
Yes.
I thought, well, if I'm going to be in the industry, I will never come out. It's just obviously not an option. Now, today, every job or something like everything I have is literally because I'm gay, which is crazy, and I'm blessed and thankful. So my question is, since you were acting as a child, I don't know what you felt about it, but do you think coming out helped or slowed you down career-wise?
Well, it's interesting that you even phrased the question that way, because I wasn't acting as a child. I mean, I was, but it was all stuff in Oklahoma, like musical theater, opera, things like that. I didn't start auditioning for TV until I was 18 and moved to LA. And then I started doing children's TV. And by that time, I was already out. And so I had to go through this kind of like recloseting process that was really just like psychologically damaging, and it left me really fucked up.
So interesting.
So, now that I am out publicly, with the things that I do, and it's such an important, piece of who I am, especially in the work that I create, it's everything to me. It's important to me, and I'm really happy to be able to do that and have that be a part of what I do.
That's amazing, and a very different aspect that I didn't realize, but certainly I can't imagine. I mean, when I was 18, I was just very far from ready to come out, but I can't imagine having that, like, who you are, and then going the opposite way.
Oh yeah, it fucked me up.
That's
really
crazy.
bad. It fucked me up really bad.
Well, hey, I'm glad you're back. Out and proud.
Exactly. I mean, even when I started releasing music too, like I released my first album in 2010, and at the time yet I wasn't really figuring it out, or I didn't really realize it yet, but I was stepping back from TV and acting, and like I was coming to the realization that it made me really unhappy. And even with my first album and all the interviews and stuff that I did, I wouldn't come out then. Even though I released this album that's like very, very gay and like talking about very gay things and stuff, I still wouldn't say it because I was so afraid that I wouldn't get a record deal. And all, there were still those barriers that were just kind of like squelching me. So it's, I'm glad that all that shit's just gone.
Freedom.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Is there any,
They're just people saying they
you got
love
some
you.
fans here for you.
Yeah.
Well,
It's got some love in the chat.
Well, I love all of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I have really incredible people like following me online and supporting my music and my books, and I'm really, really blessed.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, where can they follow you so that when it is time to announce the book's coming, the music's coming?
Yes, I am most active on Twitter and Instagram at Simon Curtis.
Love it. Well, great. Well,
thank you so much.
So excited you were here. Guys, thanks for listening, watching, enjoying that pic of Joe Jonas if you saw, or hating it if you're not into that sort of thing. I'm Adam Salandra. You can find me on social at Adam Salandra.
I'm Yael Tygiel. You can find me everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.